All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys an example of how we do division with remainders in class. So let's do 29 divided by 2. So if I have 29 divided by 2, we've started out division with remainders using models. So this is my dividend. 29 is my dividend. It's the total number of whatever it is that I have. And then 2 is my divisor. It's the number that I'm dividing by. So my divisor is how many groups I'm going to have. So I'm going to have 2 groups. And I'm going to go ahead and use, I want to make sure you can still see this. So I'm going to go ahead and use these base 10 blocks. These are 10s rods and these 1s. So 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So this equals 29. These are all of the units that I need to complete this problem. In order to keep equal groups, I need to add, if I add a 10 to this first group, I need to also add a 10 to this next group. Since I have 1s left, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to each group at a time. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I have this 1 left. So this tells me that I can have 2 groups of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 equal groups of 14 with a remainder of 1. If I put my 1 in any of the groups, I'm not going to have equal groups anymore. So the 1 is going to be the remainder. I do like to tell the kids that if they can use multiplication to check their work. So this usually comes a little bit after they get the concept. So if they're not doing this right away, it's definitely okay. But if they go ahead and take the divisor and multiply it by the number that they got, so 2 times 14 is 28, and then they add their remainder, so plus 1 would be 29, that should equal your dividend. So let's go ahead and do another one, just because. We can do 47, let's do a bigger number, 47 divided by 3. Okay, so my dividend is 47. That's the total number of units I have of whatever it is. We're not, just yet, we're not using very much context because we're just trying to get them to use the skill, or to understand the skill before we give them a little more context. So 47, so I'm going to give you 10, 20, 30, 40, there's 40, and then I have 7 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my dividend is 7. Or 47, sorry. And my divisor is 3. So I'm going to have 3 groups. I need to split up 47 into 3 groups. So 1, 2, 3. And this one's not going to be as easy as the last one because, let's see, 1, or 10, 20, 30. I've got this guy. But all I have to do is switch this out for 10 1s. So let's see. Can you see it up here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm removing this, but I have the 10 1s to replace it. So now I'm going to continue making my equal groups. So whatever I add to one group, I have to add to the other. All right, so now I have equal groups, but I have 3 left over. I have 3 equal groups of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 equal groups of 15 with a remainder of 2 because I have 2 left over. I cannot put these 2 in any of these groups and still have 3 equal groups, meaning the 3 groups all have the exact same number of units in them. I do stress to the kids that my remainder cannot be more than my divisor, because if I had 1 more unit, I could make 3 equal groups. So your remainder can never be bigger than the divisor. And your quotient, which is an answer, the answer of a division problem, your quotient cannot be bigger than your dividend. Because if you're breaking 47 up into smaller groups, or in this case, 3 smaller groups, it's not going to be bigger than the number that you started with, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope this helps. Doing it this way using pictures, drawings, is usually a lot helpful for minds to understand. It was helpful for me to understand when I was relearning this. If you don't have these at home, that's totally okay. The kids usually, they can draw lines to represent tens rods, so lines for these guys, and then just dots for the ones. Easy enough. And then once we get into hundreds, they can draw little squares because this represents 100. Alrighty.